Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it. Being made myself
Right.
sorry for the inconvenience.
So Thursday, the corrections officers will make sure that you appear with Judge Freshour on Thursday. And someone from Mr. Hawthorne's office will be there with you. You'll be able to discuss whether or not a violation occurred and what the penalty is at that time.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any change to your contact information, Mr. Shu?
Contact information would be my mother.
Okay, and is it okay to use that in the phone number for texting and calling?
Yes, it is.
So,
That's my current address.
Okay.
I'm in the process of moving, but yeah, that's my current address.
okay, this is State of Michigan versus Jeremy Shu, 2240180. Your office was previously appointed on this matter. Mr. Hawthorne, you may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Calvin Hawthorne, Public Defender Fellow, appearing on behalf of Mr. Shu. Your Honor, we are under the impression that this hearing is about a bond violation or a condition violation.
Yes.
All right. Well, Mr. Shu informs me, that he was not anywhere near the alleged address where he's supposed to stay away from, and that he's had no contact with that individual as well.
Go ahead, Mr. Dobie.
Your Honor, the police report, Washington County Sheriff's report from 6/18 of 2022 indicates he was arrested hiding in the bushes across the street.
Yeah. The police report states that at 5731 Dexter Pinckney Road, the caller reported that someone had walked through their backyard and hunkered down in their weeds. They don't know what he's doing. They believe he came from next door. They recognize the subject. He had done it before, white male in his 30s. The police approached the location where the subject was last seen in the woods. A white male was observed. I asked Jeremy Shu what he was doing. He told me he was just sitting. I questioned him about sitting in someone's weeds. He told me he was just sitting. He had just come from his friend's house. Okay, so the address that you're not supposed to be at, Mr. Shu, is
57, I believe, 57 something.
5721. You were found at 5731. And you're not supposed to have contact with somebody named Donna Eaton.
Did not.
Deputy Rob requested I attempt contact with Donna. I spoke to a female on the telephone who identified herself as Donna. I informed her of who I was, and when I mentioned Jeremy being at her house, she hung up the phone.
I did not have contact with her.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
When you put yourself in a situation that is standing right against the line of violating your bond, like being very, very close, then the police don't have any option but to assume you violated your bond. There's no reason for you to be there.
Ma'am,
Yes,
may I speak?
sure.
I was at a party behind the residence, which was on Horseshoe Bend. It was like
I know where Horseshoe Bend is.
Okay, I was at a party there. When my understanding was two things. One, from Donna's mother, that Donna spoke to Judge Freshour and had the no contact order dropped.
Okay,
Also-
until someone gives you from the judge's mouth
Yes, ma'am.
that information, it's not true.
All right. Yes, ma'am. The other thing is I went to the creek that was behind the residence to find my sandals.
Mr. Shu, I would just advise,
Yeah, because if your sandals were there, you're too close.
That was from like a month ago where I dropped them and I was just trying to get them.
Shouldn't have been there a month ago either.
Like I said, I never had contact with her. I wasn't on her property, and I apologize for any inconvenience. I am currently a caregiver for my two uncles. My one uncle has cerebral palsy. My other uncle has circulation issues and can no longer properly care for my one uncle with cerebral palsy. I've been staying in Belleville, And that's where I intend to move to at some point once I get probation transferred and all the court stuff dealt with. I understand that I was on the line, and I don't want to do any of that anymore. I just want to go to Belleville and help my mother, my uncle.
Well, when you say you don't do any of that anymore, I mean, this is just from a couple of days ago. So, and like I said, I mean, I guess my problem is that when you're pushing the limits like that, as I said before, it's not a person who is trying to stay out of trouble is not putting their toes right against the line to see whether or not they get caught. Okay. So by being so close to the place where you're not supposed to be, you put your toes right against the line. And the police, then it's not unreasonable, given your history, for the police to believe that you violated your bond.
I don't think that it is unreasonable. And
Yeah.
like
So
said,
when you push, that's what happens. So, did you recently post a bond in this case?
yes, I posted a $1,500 cash bond, man.
Okay.
That was Judge Freshour had 2,000 and she dropped it to
Yeah.
1,500.
Okay. Hold on one second. I gotta turn my microphone off for a second.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think that the policy, unfortunately for you, and again, this is why it's not worth it to push the envelope, is that you have to be held without bond until you can see Judge Freshour. So that will be luckily this Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it. Being made myself
Right.
sorry for the inconvenience.
So Thursday, the corrections officers will make sure that you appear with Judge Freshour on Thursday. And someone from Mr. Hawthorne's office will be there with you. You'll be able to discuss whether or not a violation occurred and what the penalty is at that time.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Michigan versus Jeremy Shu, 22F10970. I have received a petition requesting a court-appointed lawyer. I will sign that. I believe that we've already updated Mr. Shu's contact information, so I'm not going to bother to verify that. You may proceed when you're ready. Ms.
Thank you, Your
Apple.
Honor. Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Shu. I have reviewed the complaint with him, so we will waive a formal reading and stand mute at this time.
Okay, may address bond when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Regarding bond, he is set for a bond violation hearing tomorrow. I have reviewed the bond form with Mr. Shu, so he's aware of those conditions that are being requested. No objection there. We'd request the next available court date for him.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Shu.
I would honestly like to have a reading of the formal complaint
Sure.
for the record, please.
The complaint in this matter states that on or about June 23rd, 2022, at 2201 Hogback Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan, defendant is accused of bribing, intimidating, or interfering with witnesses, giving, offering to give, or promising a relationship to a person in order to influence the person's testimony, or to prevent the person from testifying in an official proceeding. This is a felony with a maximum of 4 years and/or $5,000.
Since I have not reviewed the complaint and have not had the ability to review the complaint, can you tell me who the alleged arresting officer and/or complaining witnesses is?
The complaining witness is Officer Thomas Robb of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
I took testimony today from Sinks. This doesn't have Sinks. Detective Thomas Sinks. His testimony to me was that 2 phone calls were made to Miss Donna, I think you say her last name, Uton, and that in those 2 phone calls, you were instructing her about what to say when she came to court.
Okay, that's I understand what the testimony is, ma'am. There's no validity to that, but it is what it is. I understand. That's not what today is for.
Someone listened to the recordings.
Yes, I understand. I completely understand.
Okay, and you're not supposed to talk to her at all about anything.
Okay.
You know that already. I mean, we just saw each other.
I completely understand. I'll say this: I reserve my First Amendment right to freedom of association and my 14th Amendment substantive due process right to marry and/or have a relationship with whoever I choose. That's really all I'm going to say today.
Okay. And I'll say this. You and I had a long conversation. We were very clear about what you were ordered and not ordered to do. Court orders, pardon the expression, trump your right to associate freely until your court case is over. So you're not accused today of violating that court order because you already were accused of violating the court order. So this is where we are now.
I completely understand, ma'am, and I'm not trying to be argumentative towards the court, nor it seems a little suspicious to me that I have a court hearing tomorrow, which I'm going to be let out. I was supposed to be released based on invalid allegation, and now all of a sudden they're trying to throw whatever dirt they can towards me. So I understand.
Okay. This is a felony charge. I'm going to set a bond on this case because of the nature of the charge, as well as your status on the other things. Setting the bond at $5,000, 10%.
All right. I appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you.
Ms. McDuffie, did you want to say something? I'm familiar with Mr. Shu. I understand what your office is requesting.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I just had a couple of notes from the APA who's handling this case, and it was pointed out that on this particular matter, apparently Mr. Shu has not appeared voluntarily. It's only been when he's in custody. However, I do have Mr. Shu on some unrelated sort of traffic cases in 2 other courtrooms, and I've always seen him appear, so that
that's not for this matter, though. Because
no, I understand.
We're in a new case.
Yes, I'm just saying that the notes in terms of his appearances, willingness to appear, ability to appear, et cetera, are just reflecting that just in terms of flight risk, et cetera. So yeah. That was all.
The bigger flight risk, honestly, is his unwillingness to follow court orders. But I believe that Judge Rushhour will deal with that. Okay, I'm setting this at $5,000, 10%.
Can I say one thing? I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to cut you off, and I completely apologize. I am filing, just so the prosecutor office know, and for the record can reflect, I will be filing a civil lawsuit based on malicious prosecution.
Okay.
So that'll be filed in federal court within the next couple of days.
Yeah. I think we should not waive the timeframes, Miss Apple, because I don't know when he's going to be able
to. I was requesting the next available, so.
Okay. Next available is July 7th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
That's for the probable cause conference, Mr. Shu. Okay.
I appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you.
No contact with, I got to give you a couple of conditions. No contact with Donna Uten. Do not go to her address on.
Okay.
And you already have a tether in that other case, don't you?
No, I do not. I have no tether.
Okay, I'm ordering a tether.
Okay. Is that before or after I pay whatever bond?
When you are released from custody, a GPS tether will be put on you. I'm trying to decide whether I want the tether to restrict you to your home or prevent you from being where she is. I'm also going to order that you not use the phone while you're in jail.
So my civil rights are even more restricted now.
These aren't your civil rights, sir. You misunderstand. I get why you feel that way, but that's not what this is. When a person is accused of committing a crime, then it's the court is permitted to put some restrictions on their liberty. I'm not restricting your civil rights. I'm balancing your rights to be free from any interference with Miss Uten's rights to be safe.
I'll say this all stemmed from an argument that there was no physical violence from myself nor threats from myself. Yeah. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. And I understand what you're trying to tell me, and it's okay for you to tell me the things that you're telling me, but I have not forgotten what our last interaction was like.
I completely understand, ma'am. Like I said, I'm not trying to be argumentative.
All right. So I'm going to order the GPS tether to keep you from her location. That's less restrictive than confinement, and why it's being requested, but I'm not sure that that's an appropriate restriction.
I understand, Your Honor. I've seen it as well, and I've had a couple other cases with jail calls with intimidation issues, yeah. And it's essentially all we can do to prevent that contact. It would be one thing if you could sort of say no calls to this number, but there are ways to sort of circumvent that as well. So it's kind of all we can do to, yeah.
Right.
May I say one thing?
Yes.
And again, I apologize, and I understand that this is an inconvenience for everybody. I have court tomorrow based on the controlling domestic violence case.
Yeah.
If and when that controlling domestic violence case is dismissed and or voided or whatever, does this case control that one, or does that one control this one?
No, neither.
Okay.
They're two separate cases. You are right to think that there should be a connection, because but for the misdemeanor, this one wouldn't matter. But they're really two separate cases. This is a guess, but my guess is that if the one is dismissed, that does have a slightly different flavor for the witness intimidation case, but they do go forward. I've seen people charged with witness intimidation a year after the underlying case was dismissed.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's clear to myself.
Can we get a hold of Arnett? If I restricted your phone calls, which I would like to do, who in an ideal world with no restrictions other than Miss Uten, who would you like to call on the phone?
I call my family. I call friend named Tanya. That's basically my phone.
Okay. Who do you call in your family?
Mother, father, brothers, sister. Again, my mother and Donna's family are also very good friends. They was friends prior to my relationship or my engagement. There's no, basically, I apologize. This is really all a waste of time. I've never.
You're not wasting my time. I'm working, so it's okay.
Yeah, I completely, like I said, it's not my personal opinion. All I've ever done or said to have done was ask.
The sergeant's on my phone. I'm sorry, Mr. Shue.
Thank you. Seems like they're trying to pick up any type of dirt that they can possibly pick up to violate my civil rights. And I guess the federal court will have to deal with that. Yet again. Witness intimidation is the state and or county trying to intimidate the witness, not myself. Seems like they're trying to violate my 14th Amendment standing to due process rights. However, this matter was supposed to be arraigned within 72 hours, yet they kept adjourning it. Seems like they're malicious prosecution of myself. But yet again, we'll let the Eastern District Federal Court, Detroit Court, deal with that. Abusive process, malicious prosecution, false arrest, false imprisonment.
Which is easier for me to
violation of contact order, but yet I wasn't in violation of no contact order. Getting ready to let me go, and yet, I allegedly promised somebody a relationship. A 30-year-old woman that has kids, I promised a relationship. Makes no sense.
I know he's having a hard time.
Not that I.
Okay. I'm going to restrict phone numbers.
Okay.
I talked to the sergeant and I asked him what, my question was, how sort of spiritually harmful is it for a person to be cut off from their phone privileges? And he said it kind of depends, of course, on what their use of the phone is and what their relationship to the community is. So I know you would like to be able to contact your family. So Ms. McDuffie, we need your office to get the phone number for, I don't have her phone number, Miss Uten, and her family, so that he cannot call those numbers.
Will do, Your Honor.
Those numbers then can be submitted to the jail as numbers he cannot call. Okay. And that, according to Sergeant Arnett, that is something that can be updated. So if it starts to look like he's abusing this restriction, more phone numbers can be added. But I think for now, I'm going to say no jail calls to Donna Uten or her family members.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead. I'll let you finish, and then I'll.
The defender victim advocate to supply numbers to jail. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
It was also the victim advocate, Leah Donahue, is the one that allegedly reported this after Miss Uden, from my understanding, spoke to her and told her she will be in court to tell the truth and make sure this matter is resolved.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that there's some type of notation that it was Leah Donahue that is basically all this stems from.
Okay. All right. I think we're finished for today. So Mr. Shue, no contact. No, that begins now. Your phone privileges will be restricted as soon as that information is provided to the jail, but the order not to contact Miss Uten or her family begins now, continues, because you already had that order, begins again on this case now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to be clear on that. Even though we don't have the numbers to restrict, you are still restricted by my court order.
Okay.
Okay. And then all of the other ordinary domestic violence conditions, 5,000, 10% is the bond, GPS tether with her address as the hotspot if you post bond, and court date on July 7th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
One thing real quick. From my understanding is that Miss Uten and or her family has contacted and or communicated with the prosecutor's office and informed them that what she intended to do, telling the truth in court. What she did not want was no contact order. So basically,
I don't change that unless I get to speak to the person. Okay. And at this point, that's not, I have not heard that from anyone. So I'm not making any modifications to my orders.
I completely understand.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next time we need federal.
All right. We are all set. Thank you.
What we just witnessed is a layered courtroom escalation. It began as a suspected bond violation, proximity to a protected address. It evolved into allegations of witness intimidation based on recorded jail calls. The judge ultimately set a $5,000 10% bond, imposed a GPS tether restricting proximity to the alleged victim, enforced a renewed no-contact order, and restricted jail phone privileges to prevent further interference. The court's reasoning centered not on punishing speech, but on protecting the integrity of the judicial process and ensuring safety. The broader takeaway? When you're out on bond, your liberty is conditional. Courts can and will impose restrictions if they believe there's risk of manipulation, intimidation, or continued violations. Now I want to hear from you. Did the judge strike the right balance between protecting rights and enforcing court authority? Or did this go too far? If you found this case as intense as we did, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this breakdown with someone who loves courtroom drama, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping legal deep dives.